Chapter 1: Setting the Stage. The world of leadership is shaped by the quiet voices of those who have learned the art of wisdom over decades. Chris Anderson is one of those voices. He has spent more than 30 years observing, recording, and sharing the stories of entrepreneurs, artists, and scientists who turned small ideas into global movements. His unique perspective comes from more than a simple list of tactics. It is rooted in a deep belief that the most effective leaders first cultivate wisdom within themselves. At the heart of Anderson's teaching is the idea that wisdom is a process, not a destination. He has often reminded listeners that the best leaders are always learning, never fully satisfied with what they already know. A story that illustrates this comes from a conversation with a young startup founder. Anderson asked the founder what had most changed him in the past year, and the answer was simple: reading a new book each month and actively seeking out mentors who could challenge his assumptions. The founder later credited that habit for turning a stagnant idea into a profitable product. Anderson's wisdom centers on 5 core principles we will explore here. The first is humility, the recognition that no one has all the answers. The second is listening, the skill of fully understanding others before speaking. The third is curiosity, a relentless desire to know more about the world. The fourth is resilience, the capacity to recover from setbacks faster than before. And the fifth is purpose, a clear sense of why we do what we do. To use these ideas today, start small. Choose one book that challenges your current thinking, schedule time to read it, and write a short summary of how it changes your perspective toward work and life. Next, practice listening by focusing entirely on a conversation without planning your reply. Let the other person finish fully. Lastly, note one goal that feels meaningful and keep it visible. These simple actions can begin the transformation of wisdom into leadership. If you are enjoying this conversation, please like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe or follow for more lessons on wisdom and leadership. What is your next step toward applying humility, listening, curiosity, resilience, and purpose in your daily life? Chapter 2: Principles that Shape Great Leaders. Each of Anderson's principles carries with it a practical strategy that turns abstract wisdom into action. Let us look closer at these 5 pillars and see how they can help us navigate today's complex environment. Humility is about admitting gaps in our knowledge. Anderson reminds us that even the most celebrated leaders say, "I am still learning." A concrete way to practice humility is to keep a learning journal. After each meeting, write down one thing you didn't understand and research it later. This helps you identify blind spots that otherwise might stay hidden. Listening is a strategic skill that increases influence. Anderson encourages the use of a technique he calls the mirror check. Before answering, repeat back what you heard, then let the other person add if it's correct. This not only validates the speaker, but also shows you truly understood their point. Adopt this method when negotiating a project or giving feedback. Curiosity is the engine that powers innovation. Anderson suggests setting aside a question of the week. Each week, choose a broad question: why are people buying this product? Or how can we reduce production waste? Spend 20 minutes brainstorming, gathering data, and testing possibilities. By treating curiosity as a daily ritual, you nurture creative solutions that would otherwise stay dormant. Resilience is practiced by reframing failure. Anderson offers the 3-question test. After a setback, ask what you learned, what you can do differently, and who can help. Turning a mistake into a lesson makes you stronger and keeps the momentum going when challenges arise. Purpose creates direction. Anderson says to write a personal mission statement and read it every morning. This anchor ensures your daily choices align with the bigger picture, helping you stay focused when distractions swirl. To apply these in practice, pick one principle to lead your week. For example, start with humility by writing in your learning journal for 5 minutes every evening. At the end of the week, review your notes, research topics, and schedule questions to discuss with a colleague. This exercise will expand your knowledge base and build trust among your teammates. If this resonates, please like, share, and subscribe or follow for more guided wisdom on leadership. What would you choose as your personal principle to focus on first? Chapter 3: Anderson in Action, a Personal Journey. Anderson's words are more powerful when they show results. Consider the story of an entrepreneur named Sarah, who faced a pivotal decision about scaling her eco-friendly product. She called Anderson for advice. He asked her 3 questions. What did her customers value most? What was the cost barrier? And what was the most effective path forward? Instead of offering a generic solution, Anderson guided her to conduct a rapid customer interview series and focus group, revealing a hidden pain point: lack of trust in eco-labels. By understanding this, Sarah changed her marketing strategy, added third-party certifications, and saw sales rise by 60%. Another example is a nonprofit director, Mike, who needed to inspire his volunteers during a tough budget cut. Anderson had taught him the power of storytelling and shared the story of a small village that mobilized community resources to rebuild after a flood. Mike adopted a similar narrative, focusing on collective impact rather than individual sacrifice. Volunteers reported stronger motivation, and volunteer retention improved by 40%. Both cases illustrate key lessons. First, wisdom is rooted in knowledge of your people. Second, leadership is not about commanding, but about guiding with clarity and empathy. Third, real change begins with small, data-backed steps instead of sweeping gestures. Apply these stories to your life. If you lead a team, try to uncover the hidden concerns of each member through short one-on-one meetings. If you plan a project, break it into testable experiments, measure results, and adjust accordingly. By grounding your leadership in real stories and evidence, you can avoid the pitfalls of unchecked ambition. Please like this video if you found the stories relatable, share it to help others, and subscribe or follow for more actionable wisdom. What hidden concerns do you think your team or community might be holding back? Chapter 4: Practical Tools for Modern Living. Today's leaders operate under pressure: fast technology change, diverse teams, and ever-present work-life balance challenges. Anderson's wisdom gives us 5 tangible tools that fit directly into our daily routines. First, the reflective pause. Before major decisions, spend 30 seconds to breathe, remind yourself of the 5 principles, and ask if the choice aligns with them. This simple pause prevents impulsive moves that later prove costly. Second, adopt a knowledge board. Dedicate a space in your office or home to display snippets of insights, books, quotes, data points. Regularly rotate these items so your mind is constantly exposed to fresh ideas. Third, practice the resilience diary. At the end of each day, note one setback, how you responded, and what you learned. Over weeks, patterns will emerge, showing how you grow stronger. Fourth, use curiosity meetings. Schedule a quarterly session with a different team member each time. Let them share a subject they are passionate about, whether it's astronomy or cooking. This broadens your horizon and creates a culture of learning. Fifth, implement a purpose ritual. Each morning, read your mission statement, visualize a day aligning with it, and outline one action point that brings you closer to that purpose. To use these tools now, choose one that resonates most. For instance, start the reflective pause with every email you send. Ask yourself, does this align with humility, listening, curiosity, resilience, and purpose? If the answer is no, adjust the message before you hit send. The benefits are clear. You become a leader who listens actively, learns continuously, adapts swiftly, and moves purposefully. Feel free to like this video, share your own tools, and subscribe or follow for more guided wisdom. What daily tool would add the most value to your leadership practice? Chapter 5: Turning Wisdom into a Future. The journey through Anderson's insights is a continuous cycle. Now that we have mapped out the path, from understanding to applying, we need to look ahead and decide how we grow beyond the present moment. First, commit to lifelong learning. Find a community, online or offline, where questions are welcomed and failures are dissected constructively. This keeps you grounded in humility and curiosity. Second, build a feedback loop. Schedule regular check-ins with mentors, peers, and team members to review your progress against the 5 principles. Let the feedback guide refinements to your approach. Third, share your learning. Create a blog, host a workshop, or simply mentor a junior colleague. Teaching others reinforces your wisdom and extends your influence. Fourth, practice gratitude. At the end of each week, note 3 moments where your humility or listening led to a positive outcome. This mindfulness keeps you attuned to growth. Finally, renew your sense of purpose regularly. Revisit your mission statement, adjust it to reflect new aspirations, and embed it into every decision. Purpose anchored in wisdom ensures your leadership remains authentic and impactful. Closing today, the key takeaways are: humility, listening, curiosity, resilience, and purpose are not separate skills but an integrated compass. By honoring each, you turn abstract wisdom into concrete leadership that inspires, transforms, and endures. If you found this script helpful, please like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom-driven leadership content. What next step will you commit to using these 5 principles over the next month?